Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies that we haven't seen. I'm your host, Betsy, and with me as always is Trent.
Welcome back.
We have hit our penultimate episode of our Smutty Sundays series, and folks, it has been a year and a half in the making since the last time we did smutty movies, and we are going to finish this series with 2 parts. It is the second and third in the series. We are first beginning with 50 Shades Darker.
We're back, baby. We could not stay away. We had to finish this fucking trilogy.
We cannot help ourselves. The people have spoken. They wanted it.
Literally, because it's like our number 3 episode ever. But we said it at the end of that episode where we covered 50 Shades of Grey. We couldn't look away. We have to finish this fucking thing, and it's been eating at us for a year and a half.
And because it's been a year and a half, we actually rewatched this movie.
Yeah, we had to.
And it is just as terrible as it was the first time.
Maybe worse, I don't know.
Maybe worse, but as I said, I'm invested now.
Yeah.
I've come too far, you've come too far, we have to keep going. So, Trent, why don't you give us a little recap, the highlights, if you will, of 50 Shades of Grey.
I don't know about highlights.
Okay, the lowlights, if you will, of the first movie in this trilogy.
All right, so this story revolves around this mousy little girl named Anastasia. Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey, a young playboy billionaire.
High-powered businessman.
Who is like very aloof and very private about his private life, and he's like a local celebrity that nobody gets to talk to, nobody knows anything about. He's never photographed with a woman out ever, but he is quite active in philanthropy and business and all sorts of other things.
And he is just so drawn to her. She's just the only person that he can be with.
She is so special, Betsy. And nobody knows why. Nobody knows why he chooses her out of everybody. She's a fucking virgin when they meet. They start having sex, but then it is revealed that he has some special interests.
Yes, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get into some kinky shit. She never signs the contract.
Yeah.
He won't let her get close, even though they're forming a connection, and so she leaves.
Yeah.
And that's
a very abbreviated version.
That's a very abbreviated
of
version.
the first one, yeah. So, as a character, Anastasia is kind of a nothing character for good reason. As we mentioned, this entire trilogy of books started out as Twilight fan fiction.
And you can, again, I was watching this the other day, and you can see the parallels.
Some of the scenes, yeah.
I'm so messed up. Like, I'm a vampire. I mean, I'm an aloof billionaire. And I've just got problems with my own.
I'm just a monster.
Yeah, so
but
it's a lot of that.
But at the same time, it is like an empty vessel of a female character that the audience or the reader are just thrusting themselves upon. Emphasis on thrusting.
It's me. I could be her.
Right.
I could be Anastasia.
That is the entire thing. Like, she is just this empty person who you can just apply yourself to, and it's fucking embarrassing from a, storytelling standpoint.
But it is her destiny for them to be together.
Right. And the one thing that I will say, upon second viewing, we got more understanding of her progression. Because at the end of the movie, she starts taking control. She starts asserting her dominance.
Even though
she starts out as a submissive, she starts to turn the page on him.
So all that being said, we don't really know what happens in the second one. I just assume they get back together somehow.
Yeah, they're going to get back together eventually because there's a fucking third one of these that we're going to cover next week.
I assume this one will be much hornier than the last one, which is saying something.
Couldn't possibly.
And then I'm going to throw this out there. I know by the end of this series they're married, and having watched all the Twilight movies, I'm going to go with cliffhanger at the end of the second is when he proposes. That's what I'm predicting in this one.
We'll see. And maybe the cliffhanger is whether or not she says yes, or maybe the end of it is, hey, they're going to go on their honeymoon and we're going to get the continuing adventures of this couple in number 3. I don't have a clue, but we will figure that out once we finish this one.
And I don't know if this is where she becomes the dominant and he becomes the submissive, because again, as I understand it, that maybe is the dynamic that we end up with later.
Yeah, like I said, the page is turning. He, when he entered this world, was the submissive one. Then he turned into the dominant one, but then he's been a self-hating dom ever since.
We will find out. So with that, we are going to go and watch 50 Shades Darker from 2017, and we will be right back. And we're back. Trent, 50 Shades. Was it darker?
It was different.
Good, different, bad, different, or the answer is yes?
Yeah? I don't really know how to react to this one because after rewatching the first one, this is a completely different tone.
Oh, definitely. This one I somehow found both better and worse than the first one. Because
I wanted them to go like fucking bonkers.
Yeah, it's just a very different style of movie. It's like, okay, we gotten through the fucking, so now we're gonna have some fucking, but we need mystery and intrigue.
It's almost as if they're ashamed of the first movie.
I don't know if that's the case, but they're trying to, how do you make 3 movies about the same thing? And so they have to add some plot.
How do you write 3 books about the same thing?
Yeah, you need a plot. So the plot here is we're advancing the story of the relationship with these two. However, that's not enough. So there's a girl who's following her around, and her boss is a skis bag, and there's a helicopter crash. Oh my God.
Right. The whole thing is his past is still haunting him, and there are still elements of her life that she hasn't taken control of yet. And yeah, like you said, there's a helicopter crash for no fucking reason.
It's to prove to herself just how much she really cares, even though
she had already made up her fucking mind. It's not like she's reacting to that and saying, "Oh my God, I can't ever lose you," and I'm gonna say yes, I'm gonna move in, and oh by the way, I'm gonna marry you. No, she already said yes.
Yeah, the first half of this movie is mostly a lot of fucking. And that's fine. And then the second half, there was like a definite lag where I'm like, is this the end? Is this the end?
Yeah.
Is this part the end? Because it kept feeling like they were building to a conclusion. And if you had asked me, like, what do you think's going to happen in this movie? Helicopter crash would not have been on that list.
But that's the thing. It was nothing. It was just a very small aside to have everybody kind of come together in their place.
Yeah, it was for like hours, not days or weeks. It was just, it happened, get over it. Yeah.
And he was almost like pissed off that, like, what are you people doing in my place? Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I need to see my girl.
Shit. Oh. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
I had a weird relationship and weird reaction to the first one. Like, we had a really good time just shitting on it, but there's not much really here to either shit on or praise or anything. It's just kind of boring, except for all the extra fucking.
They're throwing extra stuff in here to make us care about this elaborate web they've woven. And it's just like, but it's not that elaborate. It's not that interesting. Like, so he has a dark past and we're going to start exploring that, but we don't really do that.
I mean, the whole movie starts with his abuse.
Yeah, that was a weird way to start the movie.
Yeah, it's
He's
a flashback.
Child.
He's having a dream. It's a flashback to him being a child, and I guess his original mother or father or somebody is there with a lit cigarette. Which I kind of figured that's where he got his scars, because that's usually what that looks like.
Yes, according to IMDb, that was his mother's pimp.
Ah.
Because, she's a crack addict, and he has secret depths that we don't yet understand. He comes from this tormented childhood, and it was upon this viewing, maybe it's just because we watched Twilight pretty recently, that I was really realizing how similar these are, because in Twilight, all the kids are adopted
Yep.
by a doctor.
Yep.
What happens in this movie, Trent? All the kids are adopted by a doctor.
And they still call each other brothers and sisters and
Yep.
everything else. And they're very close, but not really. It's very strange.
Yeah, like Rita Ora is in this movie more, but it took me a hot minute to recognize who the fuck was talking.
Sure.
Because I care so little about any of his siblings.
Well, like, she was in the first one, like, once.
One scene and her hair is different, so the dialogue she's
Yeah.
giving is, oh, I look different now.
Sure.
You could have recast that person entirely and I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah. But, like, the brother is the same, and the brother's still kind of a shithead, but he's kind of an okay shithead.
I guess.
He and her roommate / friend are still dating, and, you know, that's okay. It's just, why are you even there? At the beginning of the movie, when she is leaving, like, a video message for Anastasia, I figured that was going to be their one appearance in the entire movie, and that was it. And I would have been fine with that, because they're nothing characters. They don't need to be involved.
And they really aren't in it that much. They're in it like 2 more scenes in the movie, 2 or 3.
I would say a few more.
But not until the 3rd act, where it requires us to all bring everybody together.
Right. Everybody comes together at the bar scene where somehow Jose is still hanging around for some reason.
Oh my God. I have so many problems with Jose. You've been friend zoned, dude. Get over it.
Yeah, you were friend zoned from the very beginning. She was never going to get with you. And if that's all you really cared about, you need to move on.
Yeah.
You need to let it go.
The opening scene, apart from his little dream, is her friend Jose is having an art gallery opening, and he has all of these giant portraits of Anastasia.
From when they were hanging out.
And he didn't tell her this was a thing. And he says, yeah, I know, because if I had asked you, you would have said no. And
Yeah.
then somebody bought them all, and it was Christian, because of course it was Christian.
Because he doesn't want to have people gawking at her.
But it's just like, Jose, you are so extra.
Yeah.
So weird and creepy. And just quit it, all right? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
She told you no in the last movie. Stop hanging around looking forlorn, because every time they're talking about her boyfriend or the fact that they're moving in together or the fact that they're getting engaged, they cut to his face.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't care about this character.
They show him and he just kind of looks sullen a little bit. And at the end where they announce they're getting engaged, he's again on screen and she's all sad. It's like, dude, why are you still hanging around if this is going to be your reaction?
Is this the Jacob character? Is he gonna fall in love with their baby?
gonna imprint on the gray baby.
I'm just saying, it's the guy who is friend zone, who is not white, and he keeps like following her around.
God damn it, you're right.
I'm just saying, I'm suddenly telling you all the things I didn't pick up on with the first movie.
All right, this is getting better. Let's keep going.
So yeah, we've got him, and then we actually meet the Elena character.
Yes.
Who is played by Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
So she is the woman who seduced Christian when he was a teenager.
Right.
And she is here to basically just stir up the drama.
Yeah, she's stirring up the pot and showing up at inopportune times and like confronting Anastasia, just saying, you'll never be good enough for him. I can only give him what he needs, and you can't give him that. And you're not good for marriage, or I don't know what the hell she's trying to do.
She's like, whatever you think this relationship is, you will never give him the thing that he really needs.
Right. Which, hey, maybe you shouldn't have abused him as a child, and maybe he wouldn't need those things anymore.
What he needs is extensive therapy.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yeah.
Just let him have therapy and not continue to just abuse people.
Shit.
And when we have our final confrontation with her at the end after they get engaged, it turns into a full-on soap opera because like she's confronting Anastasia and then Christian confronts her and then Mom is there and she throws a drink in her face and then Mom slaps her and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's full-on soap opera.
It goes to 11 so quickly and she gives her kind of the you'll be sorry sort of reaction.
Right. And like, what are you expecting to happen? You are inserting yourself into this happy moment with the happy couple amongst a whole lot of happy relatives and friends. You're the only sourpuss there.
Yeah, no.
Get the fuck out.
Know the time and the place to have this conversation, and you keep cornering her, usually in a hallway or a bathroom,
right,
to tell her she's crazy and not good enough for this guy.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck do you know? I don't know. It was just like a whole weird thing. And then we've also got this girl who is introduced just kind of following Anastasia around.
Yeah, you even noticed her before
I did.
They really revealed her. Like, she was on the bus, like 2 seats behind her, just watching her and following her everywhere.
Around.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to get to the resolution of that, but basically she used to be one of his submissives.
Yeah.
And she's obsessed with him. And she's following Anastasia around. And it's so annoying because the way they structure it, they introduce her, she talks to her outside of the building, and then they just kind of cut her out of the movie entirely for a long swath of time.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to figure out why he suddenly had all of this extra security that he didn't have in the first one. And I was like, oh yeah, there's somebody following them. Okay, that makes more sense. But like, she gets into the car garage and fucks up Anastasia's car. And I was like, oh yeah. And then we don't address that for like 30 minutes. She's just gone and we don't talk about it at all. The way they structured it was really strange. And then when she finally has her big showdown, she like shows up in her apartment with a gun. And I'm like, what is happening?
Right, and he comes in and diffuses the entire situation by just looking at her and like motions to her saying, hey, point the gun at me. You won't actually shoot me. You might shoot her, but you won't shoot me.
She calls him master.
Yes.
That was seriously creepy.
It was, but not as creepy as the kinds of things that he was probably going to have to say to her after Anna left. Because he sends her away saying, hey, go home. And he is barking orders at her because he needs to have this dominant posture, let's say, in front of the other woman. And he literally tells the other woman, kneel before your master. Yeah.
And then we don't know
and he's
how
like
this
petting her head. It's
And we don't know how this actually got resolved because we don't see it. And the same thing happened at another point of the movie with her asshole boss. He comes on to her, and that dude, from the get-go, I was like, well, shit, I know what's gonna happen here. He's just like, hey, how are you doing? Why don't you come out for drinks? It's one drink. It's right around the corner.
Right.
And like HR is super like stink-faced with him.
Hovering. Yeah.
So she clearly knows this guy has been a problem but hasn't been able to prove it, maybe.
Right.
Because all of his employees keep quitting as opposed to actually doing anything about it.
Without notice. Like
Without notice.
They just leave. They
just
don't
fuck
report
off.
why.
Nope.
They don't have an exit interview.
They just leave and get out of that situation. But he comes on to her strong, and she like breaks his finger and knees him in the balls. And then Christian, of course, is outside and sends his man in to like deal with the situation. And we don't see him the rest of the movie until the very, very end, where he is all beat up and he is like sticking a cigarette through the picture because apparently this was the mystery man who was at the masked ball.
Yeah, he was
taking photos.
He took a photo of a photo on the wall, which I don't understand why he needed to take that photo.
I figured that's who this was.
Yeah, I did too, but why did he need to take that photo?
I don't know. We're going to probably get to all of that in the next one. Like, they have to. They're setting it up. But why? This guy is so inconsequential other than being an asshole, and now he's gonna get revenge, ?
Yeah, because Christian knows people. He was in the process of buying the place, which I want to talk about later, but he knows the CEO and suggests, hey, this is what happens and you need to get rid of this guy. And, oh, by the way, let my girlfriend take over. Ha ha ha.
Well,
which, hey, I actually do believe that Anastasia did get this job, did get this push to take over this temporarily by her own merit. I do believe that.
Yeah, first she was just kind of there, and then she actually spoke up and did something about it.
Yeah, she is skilled at her job, and that's cool.
But yeah, so all of these things are happening. And meanwhile, Anastasia is a completely different character.
Yes.
This is a different woman than the first one. Now, you can account that too. People grow up, people change, people learn.
But how much time has been between the first movie and the second movie? That is not addressed.
Not
it's at least enough time for him to grow a beard, and that's all I know.
Yeah, I think if I were guessing, it's been weeks.
Right.
At most, it's been weeks because he's doing some hardcore like begging and sending flowers.
And if it was like months or like a year or more, she would have had enough time to move on. Now, she's had enough time to go and get this job, for one thing. It's in a field that she likes, and she really wants to pursue this, working for this publisher. And it's presumed that Christian is continuing to send gifts and flowers and whatever else to her apartment, because there's a scene where she gets flowers. It's got a card saying, hey, congrats on the new job.
And how would he know that other than he's
that?
stalking her?
Well, again, he has people, Betsy.
He has whole teams following her around.
Making dossiers on everybody that he comes across, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. But it's presumed here that she has thrown away the flowers in the past because she's motioning towards the garbage.
Those flowers didn't deserve it. That was a beautiful bouquet, so I'm glad she didn't throw it away.
Yeah, and maybe, and obviously it's been enough time for her to cool off from their fight, let's say, because they didn't really fight.
She just asked him to do something, and then he did it, and then she got mad about it.
Right. Yeah.
Now, what he did was not nice. It was not beating the hell out of her, but,
she asked for it, but
spanking her with a belt.
Well, and she got scared by that for good reason.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you are, and you won't talk to me about it, and you won't allow me in. You won't talk about why you feel the need to do this stuff. Okay, if you won't talk to me about this, we're done. Or at least until you are going to allow me in. And that's him breaking down the barriers that he's put up for himself by saying, you know what, I can change. Let me just have dinner with you. I can change. It's that whole thing about, okay, the woman is now in charge. The tables have been turned. And now we have this new kind of movie with a new kind of Anastasia.
Yep, we're going to tear up the contract that they didn't actually sign, and we're going to have new terms and have a, quote, vanilla relationship.
Exactly, and that is the real term.
They go grocery shopping, and they cook, and...
I loved that when they go to the fucking grocery store.
And it's like, when was the last time you went shopping? I did last week.
I was in Houston.
I bought an airline.
Fuck you.
And he's 27. I like that they say his age in this one. He's 27 years old.
Uh-huh. And she's like 22, 23.
She a baby. She just got out of college.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the whole rest of the movie, at least for, the first half. Okay, the first half of the movie is them reuniting and him opening up, and we're learning how, tender and sensitive he can actually be, and they're just destined for each other. And they do rich guy shit. In the first one, it was, let's go on my glider. This time, we're gonna go on my yacht, and I'm gonna teach you how to do something, and you can drive the yacht. The super cliche things. I should make a prediction now for what rich guy shit they'll do in the third one.
Oh, yeah.
We've already been in a plane, and we've been on the water, so I don't really know. I'll have to think about it.
You know what I think is going to happen? She said something about, when they were on the boat, she said about the house in the distance. Oh, I really like that house. Guess what? They're going to buy a house in the middle of nowhere.
I think they're going to.
That's my call.
They're going to buy that house. You know what?
Or they're going to buy that house, yeah.
Trent, I know they buy a house in the third one. I've seen one scene, and it's them talking to a realtor.
Oh, fuck me.
So I think in this rather predictable movie series, you've just predicted inadvertently what's actually going to happen.
I know absolutely nothing about the third one other than what they imply here, and it's him, the asshole boss guy, is going to go after them somehow. I don't know how.
He's going to go after them, and Elena's going to go after him, and the other submissives are going to go back after him.
The worst kind of character is somebody who is wronged, but they deserve to have been wronged, and they have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You don't have any kind of standing, dude, to be pissed. You did something wrong. You got punished for it. Fuck you. Go away.
Yeah, you deserved to get fired from your position because you have been doing this to multiple women, and it seems like everybody knows about it.
Yep.
And yet you just haven't had any consequences. So now you're going to go after him? I don't understand. This is really fucked up. And it's like he was doing this before he got fired.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't actually full on come on to her until later in the movie.
After she says no.
But the masquerade is earlier. So we see this guy in a mask taking pictures, And we don't know. I mean, you could kind of assume if there's really only like one person it could have been.
Yeah.
So yeah, all over the place structurally this movie is. And we said it in the intro, but definitely hornier. Like this is, I think,
I didn't expect
substantially hornier.
Well, and what I said was there's a lot more just straight up sex in this movie than there was in the first one, because in the first one it was just, hey, let's introduce you to what I'm into.
Yeah, teasing and
the
spankings.
masochistic stuff that I'm just kind of teasing you with until we get to the very end, and he's just slapping the shit out of her butt because he wants to punish her.
Because she asked him to.
Yeah.
Keep this in mind. This is like structurally a very strange relationship. But this movie, it's more, we're really together now. And so they fuck in her apartment and they fuck at his apartment and they fuck at his parents' house.
Well, and they actually sleep together.
Yep.
He is sleeping with her the entire way.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be apart from her. He gets very, very attached.
And again, this kind of goes back to the fact that this movie is very, very different, and it is following along with the Twilight thing, of course, with her changing him. The old adage about, oh, I can change him. He's not a bad boy. I can change him into the man that I know he can be, or the vampire, or the werewolf, or the rich billionaire, or whatever the fuck.
But of course, she's not doing it on purpose. She's very hesitant to get back into this relationship.
But she's not.
But the second she does, like they say, oh, we're gonna take things slow.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's fuck. Like you do what I tell you to do.
20 minutes it took in the movie for them to end up back in bed.
And then later on, like she's telling him, I want to go to the red room. Like, let's play. What does this do? Tell me, like, teach me. And it's that thing where she didn't want to be a part of it, but clearly she still kind of does.
Sure.
Because she's always the one like, the door was unlocked. What does this do? What are these called? Ow! And like bites her finger. Yeah, the acting and the dialogue are just as phenomenal in this one as they were in the first one. I think my favorite line was at the beginning where she says something to the effect of, your kinky fuckery. It's like, no.
Even he points it out. It's like, really? You use those words to talk to me? Yeah, no.
And they're not, like, I don't know that the dialogue is as bad as the first one.
It's not. There's some really cheesy lines in the first one, and there's not as many here.
It's still pretty cheesy from beginning to end. But once again, I'm like invested. Why am I invested in this nonsense?
See, that's the thing. I'm less invested now. Like, this was kind of boring to me.
I will give you the second half definitely on the boring side.
Yeah.
Because they stopped fucking. It's like,
I don't know about that. I say yes, the second half is more boring, but because it's like you mentioned before, I was waiting for the ending. I was thinking to myself, okay, how are they going to end this? Is it going to be a big proposal? Is there going to be some kind of, like, dire situation where somebody gets kidnapped or, you know, some other soap opera thing? Or is it gonna be like another cliffhanger like the first one? I had no idea, and they were kind of giving me a lot of different stuff.
They kept setting it up, and then it was just wah wah, and then they set it up and wah wah. Like over and over again, they kept doing that.
Yeah, it's a complete bait and switch, and I kind of didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, why did you have to have a helicopter crash? If you didn't have that helicopter crash, would it have been any different?
We needed to put him in dire straits for some reason I don't understand.
I don't understand at all.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to come across the helicopter crash in the next movie? And they're going to have...
There was a secret revelation that we don't know about where they shot down Trent by spies.
Did Christian have to fight a bear? I want to know.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in the next one. Yeah, and then like at the end, it did end as I kind of predicted with this. He had already proposed and he kept saying, are you going to give me an answer? Are you going to give me an answer?
Yeah,
she gives him an answer. They have the party. They make the announcement, but they haven't gotten a ring. So then he takes her to this room on his parents' property.
Which is weird.
That's like a pool and it's covered in flowers and there's a sunroom and he does like the proper on the knee with the ring proposal.
Fine.
And it's like, okay, end of movie. Except it's not the end of the movie. The fucking guy on the beach.
Yeah, you have to have an aftermath. Everybody's looking at the fireworks.
And there's the guy burning his face with a cigarette.
Sure.
And it's like, but why? I don't know why this guy is so pissed off for being an asshole.
Right. Like, what are you going to do to him? If you're going to go after somebody, maybe don't choose the guy who has bodyguards and security up the ass.
And limitless funds.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. He's fucked up. You could see when he's standing on the beach.
Yeah, he's beat up.
He's been roughed up a little bit.
Which I understand. Like, you're going to send your goons to beat up the guy. He deserves it. That's fine. But you need to let it go, dude.
Well,
you done fucked up.
And one of the things they agreed to at the beginning was, if we're going to do this, no more secrets. No more secrets.
Yeah, bullshit.
And it's like, kind of starting to seem like he's got some secrets because why is this guy all beat up? Because we didn't see that happen. Yeah. What happened to the girl? We don't know. Like he says, well,
he says she's in the psych ward, but we don't actually know. Like, what is he capable of? We haven't seen all of the sides of him yet.
I don't know. Maybe he's changing for the better, and he's just the best man in the whole world.
No!
But she loves him so much, despite the fact he never said the words.
No.
He never said the words. They're having a shower together, and she says, I'm glad you're telling me all these things because I know it means you love me. And he says, yes, I do. That's not the same thing. You agreeing.
Yes, I do. Yes, I am doing all these things.
You agreeing to someone's statement and you saying it of your own accord are two different things.
Okay, and I want to say something in his defense here. The thing about him not wanting her to touch him, he has all of these cigarette burn scars on his chest and all over the place. He doesn't want her to touch him where those are. And they literally draw a map on his front of saying, these are my boundaries. Literally. Do not touch me here. Everywhere else, I'm okay with. Prior to this, they hadn't even really addressed it. She really couldn't touch him at all. And they even show some shots here of when they're making dinner and like she's caressing his arm or his leg, or like she's testing the boundaries here, and he finally puts it in black and white, or in this case red. I can understand somebody who went through a traumatic thing like that as a child having some boundaries, and that's important to have, for one thing. And for him to actually come out and say it and talk about it a little bit is a step in the right direction anyway.
But as I said, maybe therapy. You can afford it. You can have someone live in your house and give you therapy. Like
True, but that's not what these movies are about.
No, it's about how she has to save him.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has to be the one. She's the savior. She can change him.
Icky.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And it's because he chose her.
And there's just so many random things that we throw into this movie to completely take a left turn. We meet a housekeeper that we've never met before.
He has mentioned a housekeeper before.
We've never seen her.
Who cares?
What was the relevance of her being there?
To have the joke later of her over his shoulder and him saying goodbye.
I don't like the structure of this script. They're conveniently setting up things just to knock down the dominoes later.
Yeah, that's what movies are.
Stupid. All right, as we're starting to wrap things up, I did have one more kind of major thing that they reveal. The big revelation here is he says, I'm not a dom. I'm not a dominant.
Yeah.
I'm a sadist. And this is when he's like on his knees, like kind of begging her to stay or something. I don't really remember the context, but they basically come out and say it. He is punishing women who kind of look like his mother. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I know that's really fucked up, and I know there's a lot of time.
Again, she already knew that.
She knew this. But to the viewers, like, this is the big revelation of this movie. Is I know I'm messed up. This is why I'm messed up. Again, quit giving her your problems. Go to see a therapist. Like, there's no shame in it. Go see a therapist. It will do you wonders. Maybe some medication. I don't really know what you need, dude, but you clearly need some professional help.
I don't really know like what really is required here, but he is clearly in a better place by the end of this movie. but it's all of these things that are following them.
He is in a healthier relationship by the end of it, and they kind of meet in the middle where he's still getting a little of that drive that he has met.
Yeah.
But she also is participating as opposed to being the submissive.
And I don't really know anything about this life that he has been in all this time. I've said it before. I know somebody who is into the BDSM world, and I don't really know much more than the stories I've heard. So what I want to talk about here is you said that they're kind of meeting in the middle here, and they kind of address her past a little bit, because after they came back together again, he asks the question, okay, so why didn't you ever have any curiosity with men? Why didn't you ever, like, why were you waiting to have sex? Why were you a virgin when we met? And she comes up right out and says it. I mean, we kind of figured her being this mousy little bookworm who was obsessed with these authors and these books and everything else. Those were the pedestal that she put men up on, and she wasn't going to be satisfied with anybody else other than an exceptional person.
The exceptional romance of Jane Austen.
Exactly.
Society.
Right. So they finally address that. And now that she's in it, this is her introduction to pleasure, let's say. And for her to go right into it with him, she's at least more comfortable with experimenting with things that are maybe a little odd.
Oh yeah, he's like, wanna wear these vaginal beads while we go to my mom and dad's fundraiser?
Right. And you know, somebody else who has never been in this world, who isn't curious about it, would be completely dismissive. Maybe. I don't know.
She definitely is more open when he is suggesting it.
Right, because I think she is trusting that, number one, he's used all of these things in the past and knows how they work. And by this time, she's comfortable enough to ask, okay, what is this? In the first movie, she asks, what's a butt plug?
Like, she was so stupid in the first one.
She was so sweet
Very
and innocent.
naive. And, like, in this one, she doesn't know what nipple clamps are.
Like,
it's
oh,
like,
come on, what do you think they are?
You do have the internet. I know this. He gave you a laptop and an iPhone. They both have the internet.
And he told her, do some research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me you didn't know what a butt plug or nipple clamps are. I disagree.
Well, I don't think Jane Austen ever talked about or wrote about butt plugs.
I don't think Jane Austen did.
I haven't read a whole lot of Jane Austen, so I could be wrong.
She only had 6 books. It's a pretty limited fare. I think someone would have pointed that out by now if it was in there.
They're all the unpublished works, I'm sure.
Okay, all right. Well, Trent, do you have any other thoughts before we start wrapping this one up?
Oh boy, yes I do. First of all, she finally has a smartphone.
She sure does. She has like that tacky little flip phone in the first one.
In, 2015 that movie came out?
Yeah, many years past when you should have had one.
I think you finally got a smartphone in 2012?
I had one before she did.
And you were past, like, oh, come on, Betsy, you need to get a smartphone. Yes. And I finally talked you into it. Yeah, I think we were married by that point, or on our way to be married.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But point being, it was still years before this movie was made, which means she was really behind the times.
Very. I also wanted to talk about the $24,000. Number one, do you remember what she said that money was for in the first place?
I have no idea.
I thought it was maybe for the car, because remember, he sold her car.
Her
but
car
you're
was
not
garbage.
Gonna get 25 grand
No.
out of that VW Bug, the classic VW Bug, yes, but not 24 grand worth.
So yeah, I don't remember where the money is from then.
Okay, either way, is this just because there's this air, like, the Kim Basinger character said, you're just another hussy who wants his money? Is this just to get the audience off her back to say, oh, you're just going after him for his money?
I've never seen her go after his money, so I don't think it's necessary. Like, the entire first movie is her being like, you got me a car.
I can't accept this.
You got me a laptop. Like, what the fuck?
You got me this first edition book thing. This is too much. I can't take.
Yeah,
you can't take anything.
She spent the entire first movie trying to return gifts to him.
Saying no, yeah.
So to set it up in this movie like that, it was not necessary.
I don't understand that. The car that he gives her is worth more than 24 grand. Why didn't you take that or send that back or rip that up?
Yeah. I don't know. And then he's just got sitting in his garage in what time she would like it back.
I don't know, but that was odd to me. And the fact that he knows her bank account information, that's fucked up. I did not like that one bit.
He crosses a lot of lines. He doesn't understand personal space
and like
secrecy and stuff.
She is like saying, "Why do you have this? Why do you have this?" And they never follow up on it.
No, and then she just, the first opportunity she has, gives the money away, and then they have some crazy fucking in his childhood bedroom.
Which we need to talk about as well, because he has ample posters on the wall, including UFC fighter posters.
And the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. I read in the IMDb trivia that they chose those posters because they wanted to show him as more of a masculine, like, tough guy, fighter guy, to be imposing to other men.
They made a lot of changes to him in his character and physicality between this and the last movie.
And I noticed right off the bat, like, that dude looks different.
He bulked up.
Yeah, he bulked up and he grew out the beard.
Mm-hmm. He was way hotter in this one. I will give you that. Like,
well,
that was one of the big complaints. In the first one, everyone was like, he's not Christian.
He's not sexy enough. Come on.
Oh, no, this one, I get it.
Fine. In the same vein as him being all controlling and whatever, there are some lines here and some concepts that make it seem like he is still the same guy when it comes to him having this air about owning her. Because when he finds out that the boss guy is hitting on her, so to speak,
he didn't like the way he looked at her.
He didn't like the way he was looking at her or treating her or like taking her out for a drink at the bar. And he says the line, he wants what's mine. Motherfucker, number one, you were gone for however long, you pushed her away. She's a big girl, she can take care of herself. They're in a public place. What the fuck is gonna happen?
And yeah, he gets very jealous very quickly.
Yeah, and he like, did so in the first movie too.
They're supposed to go on this work trip to New York.
And he says no.
She tells him, oh, by the way, I'm going to be out of town. He's like, no, you're not.
Right.
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh.
It's for work. With your boss. We'll talk about this later. We already did talk about it, and you're not going.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a thing where he's right. Her boss is a skis bag, so you're right to be suspicious.
But at the same time...
But there's ways to handle it.
He is also in the process of buying the company that she works for because he can.
Because he can! Yeah, what's morale like at that company? Do people like it there?
It's him using his power and influence to be in control of a part of her life that he isn't normally a part of.
Well, yeah, as a billionaire, you're used to getting your way, and when you don't like something, you just buy you buy it.
Yeah.
You buy your way out of the problem. And this is the problem in his life that he can't buy his way out of.
And these two also have a conversation later with her saying the line, this is not a relationship, this is ownership, when she's confronting him about him buying the company. And yeah, it is all about ownership. All of the things that he owns, he can control. And that's what's in his head.
And her whole thing is free will, baby.
Yeah. But anyway, besides all of the different sex scenes and all the details that happen with that, I don't know what else I have to say.
Yeah, I'll find it interesting when we get to the third one now, because you are less interested, and frankly now I'm more invested because now I've watched 2 of these in a number of days.
Yeah.
We'll see. Will the climax be worth all this anticipation?
That's the thing. I think the climax should have been them getting married. And I don't know if we're going to get a wedding in the next movie.
I think it's either going to be, it starts with the wedding, or they get married off screen and they're already married when the movie starts.
Yeah. And like, is this just the honeymoon? Is this like maybe a jump in the future where they're, an old married couple already? I don't know.
Well, we'll talk more about that in the next episode. We'll save that content for another time. But I think that's going to wrap up this one. We do have an email about one of our other Smutty Sunday movies from our superfan Stephanie. She sent us an email about 40 Days and 40 Nights.
Let's hear it.
She begins, I did watch this shortly after it came out. I would have been a freshman in high school, and I really did like this movie.
Weird timing for you to see this as a freshman in high school, of all things.
Well, and she was a little bit younger than we were.
Yeah,
so,
still, yeah. I'm just saying, the content therein is I would say not appropriate for a freshman in high school.
Still kind of the target demographic, but we went into that a little bit in that episode if you want to hear about who is this targeted to.
Still.
However, I do not remember much. Let's bring Josh Hartnett back into the mainstream.
Hell yeah.
I have seen several Shannon Sossaman movies from this era and liked her in them. I really remember her from Wrist Cutters, A Love Story, and I loved that weird little movie.
Never heard of it.
I've not seen that one. This movie is fine. It has been a while since I have seen it, but I kind of want to rewatch it. I thought they had pretty good chemistry. From what I remember, there were funny bits.
It's on Paramount. Go watch it.
I literally just had a conversation with my cousin about late 90s, early 2000s hairstyles. So funny.
It's all back.
Yeah, he definitely should have left town for the last few days. Love you guys. Superfan Stephanie.
Uh-huh.
So yes, if you'd like the context for what she was referencing there, you can either go and get the spoiler-filled episode that we made a few weeks ago, or just go check out that movie on streaming. But with that in mind, we are wrapping up the month of April. We've got one more video game movie ahead of us and one more Smutty Sunday. As we said, it's gonna be 50 Shades Freed.
And you should know what the video game movie is by now. So we'll just leave you to that.
Just figure it out, kids. You know what's up. But in the meantime, we would love to hear from you on any of these movies that we have covered this month, any that you think we should cover for a future series about these topics, or anything we've covered up to this point. We've got over 200 episodes that you can check out, and we would love to hear your thoughts about them.
Go back to September 2021 when we covered our first group of smutty movies. Let us know what you thought about those. And see how much we've improved since then.
There you go. So we would love to hear from you. Email us, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can send us a message on there. You can also click the link in the podcast description to throw us a buck, and we can keep bringing you smutty content. But mostly we would love if you would go on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, and rank us 5 stars. They tell us that helps and gets us out there to more people.
Hell yeah.
So that is going to be it. We will see you again on Wednesday for video games and next Sunday with 50 Shades Freed. Until then, I am Betsy.
And I'm Trent.
And we will see you then.
See ya.